Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to take you along with me into the gym. I haven't took you guys into the gym in a while, so that should be pretty fun. One reason I don't usually like taking my phone in there or my camera, today's going to be my phone, so if the quality is not as great as it has been from the past when I use my camera, bear with me. But it just takes a lot of time and focus out of my lifts. I like to focus on actually moving weight and shorter rest periods. So we're going to hit full push day. This is what I'm always hitting on Mondays. It's going to be chest, shoulders, and triceps focused. This is my ultimate favorite pre-workout meal, simple hot cereal, cream of rice. It's very easy, takes only a couple minutes to get ready. I also add a scoop of protein in there, but this is gonna be the fast digesting carbs that give us all the energy, all the intensity we need to go in and have a great workout and be properly fueled in order to perform the way we wanna perform. And then, like I said, I throw in a scoop of protein. Using cream whey, cream of rice, usually add a bit of honey in there, and then I'm gonna split a banana with my girl. I'm actually gonna make both of our pre-workout meals now because we are literally on the same exact meal plan. For the most part, we eat the same things. But yeah, this is just gonna be a little extra carbs. As you guys are aware, from 97, 98, 99% of the time, I'm tracking every single gram, every calorie, every macro, everything that I'm consuming that's going into my body. So for my cream of rice, I like to have the serving size, which is 45 grams, which is a quarter of a cup. So, got it on my scale here, measuring to 45. That's a little much. So yes, even if I'm a few grams over, I remove some and put it back in the box. I like to track with precision, track accurately. That's what ensures and guarantees the fact that you're gonna make progress with your nutrition and with your body composition when it comes down to dieting. All right, so that's 45 grams. And my girlfriend, I know she likes 30 grams. Guys, if you're not tracking your calories, you're not tracking your macros, you are guessing, and guessing is never going to ensure that you get to the place you want to go. So if you want to guarantee progress, you want to guarantee a great physique, you want to get absolutely shredded, add on muscle, whatever that case may be, you're going to have to count your calories. You're gonna have to weigh your food, and you're gonna have to track it in an app like I do in MyFitnessPal. It's very easy. It takes little to no time. And once you start doing it, it becomes just second nature. It's built into the lifestyle and it's not stressful. You don't think about it. It's really very easy to do, and it ensures you're getting to the place you wanna go. So if you're not tracking, you're guessing, and guessing is not gonna get you to where you want to go. So always be tracking. My pre-workout meal is finished. Cheers. Guys, if you're going into the gym feeling like shit, like your pumps are bad, your energy's bad, your mood's bad, you're bloated, you're weighed down, you're moving slow, it's because you're eating the wrong pre-workout meal, man. Try this cream of rice, simple. I got cream of rice, protein, banana, honey, and some salt for some sodium. It does the job 100% of the time. I always go in ready to go to town, full intensity, full energy, great pumps, mood's great, energy's great, and I'm not feeling bloated or weighed down. And it's very fast digesting, especially with the banana. Did I mention there's a banana in there? It takes like 30 minutes to an hour, literally, to digest and give you what you need. So after I eat this, the gym's about 15 minutes away, so I'll consume this whole bowl and then leave after like 15, 20 minutes of eating it. And by the time I get there, it's perfect timing. So quit eating your Pop-Tarts, quit eating your cereal, your pancakes, your muffins, your donuts, all that bullshit before you go to the gym thinking that the food is gonna give you energy, okay? It's gotta be the right food, it's gotta be the right nutrients, it's gotta be the key ingredients and blended perfectly together. I normally like to do twice the amount in carbs than I do protein for my pre-workout meal. So this right here is like almost 60 grams of carbs and 30 grams of protein. We're gonna eat this. Yours are hot too? What? Is it hot too?
Yeah, it is, but it's fine.
Very hot. And I was gonna say, it tastes like a treat. If you're like on a strict meal plan, you don't get a lot of flavor. Eat this like breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, whatever. Tastes like a treat, like you're actually getting rewarded right here. So it's very good, not just for your physical benefit, but for like your mental benefit and your taste bud benefit. I was going to record exactly how I weigh and track my foods with the scale and with the tracking app, my macros, all things like that. But with the time constraint I have, I figured I'll save that for another video if you guys want, because after the gym, I actually get to go see my second nephew who was just born last night. My brother has another son, so I'm very blessed, very thankful, very grateful to be in this position and to be an uncle of 2 little boys now. One of the things I kind of stopped to consider when I was out on my morning walk this morning, my fasted cardio outside, you see the leaf colors changing, you see the leaves falling off the trees, and it made me think that you are not able to grow if you don't let go. Now there's quite a bit of sound over there, I'm gonna go this way. Trees don't fight the season, right? They don't fight change. They simply let go of the leaves, and then ironically, they end up being their most beautiful yet, you know? They don't resist it, they just let go. But as people, as human beings, I feel like we tend to do the exact opposite, right? We cling on, we hold on to what is actually killing our growth and what's holding us back, whether that be bad habits, bad routines, the same old identity, late nights, junk food, things like that, because it's comfortable, right? It's familiar, that's what we're used to. But you can't step into your new season of growth clinging on to your old self. You know, and when the leaves fall off the trees, it's not that they're dying, it's just they're making room for something new, something more beautiful, something bigger, better, and brighter. And that's how you should see yourself leveling up and transforming. That's one of the parts that no one really talks about, transformation. It's about removing the things and letting go of the things that are no longer serving you or will serve you under your transformation. You know, it's letting go of the bullshit that is unable to compete with you and leveling up. And it's not going to serve you when you do level up. So next time you see the colors change and the leaves falling, let that be your reminder too, to let go of what's not serving you for growth, because your next season is waiting. All right, we're testing this new microphone out I got. Hopefully it's canceling the sound, the background music in here. But I warmed up my shoulders with some light weights and did a couple warm-up sets on the bench. We're starting with incline because the chest is obviously going to be the biggest muscle when training chest, shoulders, and triceps. And we're going to start with compound movements. Go pretty heavy. The one thing I'm noticing, it's going to be kind of difficult for me to record consistently or constantly while I'm training, because I'm logging my workouts, as you guys should be as well. Because again, if you're not tracking, just like your nutrition, you're guessing, and guessing's not going to get you to where you want to go. And all my logs for my lifts, my weights, my reps, my sets are in my note app on my phone. So I'm going to have to be stopping in between sets to check and kind of reposition you guys and whatnot. But yeah, just getting warmed up. We're going to do about 4 sets here in between the 6 to 8 rep range for our staple, the start of our workout. And then we're going to go from there. All right. We'll do one more warm-up set with what do we got here? 45 and a 25 on each side. 185. We'll go for a little 6 for warm-up. One thing I want to say before getting into my workout, I'm going to cut right now, right? So, which means cut my body fat. Obviously, I'm in a calorie deficit. And when a lot of people drop their calories, they start diet training, you know, I like to call it, which is basically half-assing their workouts because they let their lack of calories or the fact that they're in a calorie deficit get to their head too much. And they feel like since they have not a lot of food coming in, low energy, that, you know, they can't train with as much intensity or as much weight or push themselves as much as they'd like to, which is a big misconception. It's basically just like a mental shift you need to switch and be like, no, I'm not going to fucking diet train. I'm going to train as hard as I would if I was in a surplus or at maintenance, because that's how you're going to continue to grow and not just, you know, lose the size you put on, not lose your strength, not lose your muscle while you're in a cut. That's how you hold on to it, maintain it, and preserve it by training with as much intensity as you would if you were not cutting. So it's all like a mental thing. Don't let that get to you. Continue to push hard, and you will reap the benefits of, you know, maintaining your size while cutting your fat off. 210. First working set here. Let's see if we can hit. I'm gonna go for 8. I think we can do 8. with no spot. We'll try. Let's see what we got here. I did hit a new low yesterday, so I'm just kidding. That's that diet training shit I'm talking about. Don't fucking do that, man. Don't be a bitch. Yep. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah. Bread and butter, baby. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. We're gonna try 215 for 6, 7 if we're lucky. Always be up in the weight. Remember that. Always be up in the weight. Progressive overload each week. Never stay still. I got my girlfriend spotting me. I don't need a lift. Just in case. Going for 7. Come on. Come on. I get it. Yeah. That's a new PR right there, and I just hit a new low recently. But I did just have a refeed yesterday too, so that helps. Feeling great. Feeling great. I would up it to 225, but we'll save that. I want to stay within the 6 to 8 rep range. I feel like if I do 225, I'll probably hit 5, or that could just be small thinking. But I think I'm gonna stay with this. Rep this out another 2 sets in between my 6 to 8 rep range, and then move on. Whoever says you can't lose fat and gain muscle at the same time is ridiculous, because that was a new PR for me, and I am pretty damn lean, getting pretty lean here. Like I said, just hit a new low on my weight on the scale before my refeed yesterday, so continually making progress. It's all about knowing what to implement and when to implement it. But now we're moving on to seated shoulder press with the dumbbells, another compound with shoulders. Kind of like to rotate instead of doing all chest, then all shoulders, then all tris. I kind of like to mix it up. So yeah, we're gonna start with first set here. Already warmed up on the shoulders and the chest, so we're gonna go for the 80s. Let's do 12 reps. Let's stick with 12 here, if we can. We can. We can. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on. 20. 5, 13. I'll take that. We will indeed take that. If you got more in the tank, why cut it short? Don't. That's the answer. You don't. Keep going. That's how you continuously grow and progress and move forward. So I'm not going to record every set here. Again, just want to focus more on the lift and not have to focus on every single set that I'm doing, because it's going to take away from the quality, the intensity, and it's going to only add on to my rest periods, which I'm not trying to have a whole lot of in this phase. So bear with me. We'll get more clips, but not every single set. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't cool to still get some people coming up every now and then and being like, yo, I see you on IG, fucking this shit. It feels pretty cool, man. I haven't gotten that in a while since like working with Young LA. When I was with them as an affiliate, I was getting lots of people coming up to me in the gym and saying stuff like that. And Raw Gear and Gymshark, Alpha Line, Flex Pro. And I was working with the big companies when I had like discount codes and shit. Was really like the last time that would happen often. But I had someone just come up to me just now on my last set of see the dumbbell shoulder press, and that was pretty cool, you know. And it wasn't my hype gym edits that I used to make, just pointless feel good content for motivation. It was my talking head stuff, which is providing much more value and much more meaningful, I believe. And actually giving insight and tips and value and being vulnerable and sharing my story and stuff like that. So it was cool. It was cool to have someone come up and say that, see that they watch my shit and like my shit. What's up, boss? So yeah, that's pretty cool. But this one, you're gonna want to get a deep stretch on the eccentric and a tough squeeze on the concentric part of the movement. Slow eccentric, deep stretch, explode and squeeze. Right now, didn't record the first set of this, but we're gonna do some arm press. This is a huge thing that people overlook when it comes down to building your entire delt, front, side, and even a little bit of rear, I believe. Just because of the fact that you're able to rotate on the way down and up and basically hit every angle, every fiber of the shoulder muscle. So that's another compound I like to include for shoulders before moving on to isolation. It's almost time to take the pump cover off. Almost there. You know, whoever made the pump cover is a fucking genius, by the way. Because I don't like coming in here feeling like a bitch, looking like a bitch. You know, when I take my shit off, I like to be looking juicy and thick. So thanks to hoodies, sweaters, jackets, pump covers, you name it. Genius idea. And whoever brought it into like the gym world, absolutely genius. Probably didn't take much thought or effort, but yeah. You can just see how every muscle in the shoulder is being hit. Now it's going to be more side and front delt, not really rear, but we'll get to rear. Just not today, though. We save rear delts for pull day. Come on. I explained this on an Instagram story the other day. It's kind of like, you know how when you wake up in the morning and it may be a foggy day out and you go outside, you go on your balcony, you go in the road and you can't really see what's ahead of you. It's hard to make out because the fog is covering it up. It's hard to make out the buildings, the houses, the trees, the cars, the vehicles in front of you because of the fog, right? But as the day goes on and the fog starts to clear up, you're able to see what's behind it. And it was always there. It was just blocked up by the fog. You know, it's kind of hard to see. And that's the same thing as cutting. You know, you have what you need, but the fog, your bad habits, your bad routines, your bad food, your distractions, that's the things that's covering the lines, the symmetry, the definition, the veins, the muscles, the striations, the insertions, all that stuff. So if you can start chipping away at the fog, in this sense, your habits, your training, your recovery, your nutrition, you can start chipping away at that, you can reveal what's underneath it. And that's when you get to see, you know, this stage, which is my favorite. I love being at this level, even a little leaner, because I just feel like a fucking weapon. And this is how I prefer it, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do 2 or 3 more sets of Arnold press, and then I think we'll move on to some triceps. Yeah, I lied. Instead of that, we're going to do some dumbbell side lateral raises for more side delt. We're gonna spam the hell out of those and really bring these up. After that, we're going to do close grip bench press for a compound for the triceps. Then we're gonna do some rope pull downs, row press downs, and then after that we're going to do plate front raise for a little bit of the front delt. Now it's getting very busy up near the dumbbells, and I feel like I'm getting in the way, kind of like walking around setting this up and then having to stand at a distance to do my exercise and capture it. So I'm not going to be filming much more of the workout. That's why I'm telling you guys what I'm going to do. But we'll have a recap once I get finished up and once I'm done with everything. I don't want to get in people's way. I don't want to piss people off. And also for my benefit, it's less time for me resting in between sets and talking and setting it up so I can focus more on my lifts. I wasn't going to end it quite yet. We'll move out of the traffic. It's a lot easier to keep going when you have a reason that's big enough, right? One of my reasons is because I hated the person I was, the way I felt, the way I looked like, the way I thought, the habits I possessed, the actions and decisions I made and took before I came down this path, before I started chasing health and fitness and leveling up as a lifestyle, as a passion, as a hobby, as purpose. I didn't like who I was before this, and I want to do everything but go back. I just want to get as far away from him as possible. And also, whenever I unlock my phone and see my phone screen when I'm training, I see my picture of me and my father, who passed 2 years ago. And I'm going to do everything I can to not let him down and to make him proud. And seeing that, being reminded of that in between sessions, in between sets and exercises, just brings out another level of fucking beast in me, an animal. Makes me realize I can basically get and push through anything I want to, you know? And he's watching every move I make, every decision I make, everything I decide to and to not to do. So I got to make him proud, and I got to make my past self proud and get as far away from him as possible, because I want to do everything but go back. When you have a reason, when you can have a why, it makes going forward and pushing forward a lot easier and less of a hassle, less stressful, less of a struggle. Because when something's very important to you, you'll do everything you can to better yourself and to push through adversity, push through struggle, push through challenges, push through the hard shit. That's ultimately going to get you to where you want to go. So have a why, have a reason, and constantly be reminding yourself of what that is, especially when times get tough, when it feels like you can do everything else but keep going. Remind yourself of that why, remind yourself of that reason, and that'll be the thing that'll keep pushing you forward. All right, what wasn't clipped on the workout, we did some side lateral raises with dumbbells. We did some close grip bench press for triceps. We did some rope press downs, and then we did some plate front raises for the front delts. Now, a lot of people say all you got to do for your shoulders is side lateral raises, because your front delts, I feel like this is within the last 2 years, it started becoming popular because your front delts are worked so much already during your pressing movements. And yes, they are worked a lot, but in my opinion, they're never worked enough, right? Especially if you're not doing any exercises that are specifically targeting the front delts. So I like to target my front delts with front raises, with the Arnold presses, with the shoulder presses, and not just spam side laterals like some of these people are saying. And I feel like my shoulders are one of my strongest suits, my biggest muscle groups, and the most appealing to the eye. And it's for good reason, you know, because I hit every angle. I don't just focus on side lateral raises. I hit every piece of it, every muscle fiber that I can, and that's why I feel like they look the way they do. That's why I got these 3D aesthetic round shoulders. And they're not hard to get. You just can't be neglecting the parts that you are. And so on my push days, I like to finish a finisher 2 sets to failure, close grip push-ups. Obviously chest and tricep focused, but going to true failure. Now, a lot of times during this workout there was a lot of times where my brain was telling me, oh, this is the last rep you got. You know, this is the last one, especially when you're going into an exercise and movement where you have a preset number that you have to hit. For example, I'm gonna go bench this for 10 reps or 12 reps. You heard me earlier. I'm gonna do this for 12 reps. And then sometimes we get to 12 and we're like, okay, we did it. We're satisfied, and then we stop there when we have much more to give. Like earlier I said, if you have more to give, fucking give it. Don't stop and sell yourself short, okay? There's a lot of growth and gains that you're leaving on the table by doing that to yourself. But what I was saying is there's a lot of times when my brain was telling me, like, oh, you know, it's the last one you got. But there's a stat that there's like 30 to 40 more percent that we can actually give after our brain tells us it's it. Okay, it's just trying to get us to cop out and sell ourselves short because we're so used to not actually pushing ourselves to the true limit. But when you do, when you're able to tap into that mental reserve and give it 140% to true failure and true form breakdown and failure, like that's when you're going to notice the biggest results, the biggest gains, the most improvement. And I feel like that's something that's so hard for a lot of people to actually understand and get to. Like, they hit the rep range that they were aiming for, and then they stop because they're satisfied with the result. They're satisfied with hitting what they did when they still got so much more in the tank. So when you get that feeling next time, I'm like, okay, we're done. Tap into that mental fucking reserve you got, all that stuff that's built inside you, and let it out. You can also dig into your reason, your why you're doing the stuff you're doing. That plus the fact that knowing you have more in the reserves to give, just combined together is going to be ultimate fucking power weapon, a power tool that's going to really push you over the limit you thought you had. So we're going to do 2 final sets, failure, close grip push-ups, like I said, and then we're going to wrap up and get out of here. True failure, not no half-ass bullshit. Now you can see I'm locking out my elbows so I can really get not only a chest squeeze, but a long head tricep squeeze in there as well. So I'm working both the chest and the tricep, and you know, I'm actually even getting a good amount of front down here too. So it's a good finisher for push day in general. You know, you get some delt, some tris, and some chest, and that's why I incorporate this at the end. See right there, I normally give up, but I know there's more in me, and I think of my why, and I fucking crank out more. And even if it's just one more or 1.5 more, it's better than not getting that in there. You know what I mean? Ooh. Ooh. All right, let's get into the second one, man, and then we're out of here. One more to go. Come on. Come on. Ooh. Ay. Ah. Ay. Oh. Oh. That's wraps. That's wraps, man. I mean, we're done with the workout, but can't neglect our cardio. Can't neglect our cardio. So I like to do what I'm doing every single time for my cardio. I'll get on the treadmill, and I'm just a walker, right? I don't like to run or sprint or jog very often. Of course, I'll go on runs, sprints, jogs. I lied again. I don't go on sprints. I go on runs and jogs. I'm not lying intentionally, by the way. I'm just trying to think and talk too fast. But I won't do it as a set part of my cardio routine. After my workouts, I go on the treadmill for 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling and how quick I want my post-workout meal in. And I will just go 3 miles per hour at level 10 incline, and burn some extra calories, help me with my deficit, help me with my fat loss goals, and just overall contributing to a more healthier lifestyle. I'm only a minute 20 seconds into my walk, into my cardio, and I got a text from my brother saying that they just took him out. He was successfully circumcised, so we get to go see him after this. So normally I like to get my post-workout meal in, which is generally more cream of rice, oatmeal, or Rice Krispie cereal, all of which would have a scoop of protein powder in there for quick glycogen replenishment and quick protein to help with muscle building and recovery. But my anabolic window, if you will. The time in which I consume my post-workout meal is going to have to be pushed back. It's going to be delayed just a little bit because we're much more closer to the hospital than I am to my house and to my post-workout meal. So I'm going to finish up my 15, 20 minutes of cardio, cut that a little short too, not do the whole half hour. I'll make up for that later. Just left the hospital, made it back home. Got to see the little nephew. He was adorable, wasn't he, babe? Where'd you go?
Yes.
He was adorable. 8 pounds. 8 pounds, a little on the heavier side. I don't know by much, but I don't know much about babies, so. But it was great seeing my brother, his girlfriend, the little new guy that just was welcomed onto this earth. But yeah, going to run upstairs, make a post-workout meal, and wrap this thing up. Check this out. Check this out. You can't really see him, but he's adorable. Adorable. He's got some big grippers, just like his pops does. Some meat hooks. He said he got some fucking meat hooks. So I didn't end up bringing them dumbbells like I should have. We'll save that for next time around. Workout was finished about an hour and a half ago. We haven't had a post-workout meal, so I'm gonna get in there and get to prepping our shit right away. Turkey or chicken? Or mix it both. Let's do a mix of both.
Let's just do a mix of both.
That's a good idea. Good call. We're gonna do ground turkey, 93.7 lean, chicken tenderloins, and some Yasmin rice for the carb source. And then of course, you guys know me, bro. This stuff, Yellowbird ghost pepper. Oh my gosh, if you like hot stuff, get this now. You're not gonna be disappointed, I promise. That will be it for the video, guys. Like I said, I'm starving. I gotta enjoy this, smack this meal, get this weighed out, get our food made and ready. And yeah, don't forget to take one day out of the week to prep your meal so that when the time comes when you're hungry and you can eat, you don't grab whatever's convenient, because most of the time that's gonna be bullshit, okay? It's gonna be bad food most of the time, right? You're just gonna reach for whatever's available, whatever's quick, whatever's easy. Where if you meal prep one day of the week, you take an hour to get your stuff cooked, you can just reach in, cut it up, weigh it out, heat it up, and eat it. And it's clean, it's healthy, it's good nutrition, it's good food, and it will help you get towards your goals quicker. So quit avoiding the stuff that needs to be done, right? If you want to get to where you want to go, if you truly want to get there, you're gonna have to do what it takes, okay? And it's a lot easier than you think it is. Just get started, okay? But if you want to see more of me behind the scenes, check out my Instagram at noah.wick. You can catch me in real time. I respond to all DMs. Feel free to reach out. Any questions, any advice, any information you're looking for, or we can just chop it up. So I do reply to all DMs. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. It is currently Monday. I hope you have a killer week, and we'll see you guys soon.